The first sign of this attack wasn't gunfire or mortar rounds coming in. It was a herd of cattle being driven by the Viet Cong across Route 13, straight toward the American perimeter. Within minutes, the purpose of this stunt became very clear, and that wouldn't be the only bizarre thing to happen during this fight. By the end, 3 Americans would be lost, and the American commander would pen a letter to his Viet Cong counterpart, openly mocking him. The Second Battle of Bao Bang occurred on March 19th to 20th, 1967, during Operation Junction City, a search and destroy mission by U.S. Army units west of Saigon. Forces from the 3rd Squadron, 5th Cavalry Regiment were entrusted with the securing of Fire Support Base 20, and they fully expected an attack, as the area was a well-known Viet Cong stronghold. Early on March 19th, a VC probe signaled the start of the battle. The probe was spearheaded by a herd of 15 belled cattle driven across Route 13 at a point 150 meters northeast of the perimeter. The odd tactic was meant to divert attention away from the main assault. The VC opened fire on the northeast section of the perimeter with a wheel-mounted 50 caliber machine gun positioned on the railway embankment. One tank trained its sights on the machine gun position and returned fire along with 3 APCs for around 3 minutes. The gun crew was only able to fire 5 separate bursts before it was destroyed by the Americans. Enemy units attacked the base with mortar rounds, rifle grenades, rockets, and recoilless rifle fire. This was the start of the main phase of the battle. A track was hit, wounding an American sergeant. The VC fire increased in intensity and 2 more tracks were hit, wounding several more Americans and destroying the vehicles. 2 3rd Platoon tanks were hit, but were not disabled. Within 20 minutes of the start of the mortar attack, the VC ground assault began. The main attack came from the south and southwest, accompanied by a secondary attack from the north. These were units who had been waiting in position in the rubber trees nearby before moving forward under mortar fire cover, wearing dark clothes. The VC on the southwest portion of the base perimeter were swarming over some of the APCs, and Track 17 responded by firing canister ammunition at the impacted tracks. This killed the VC, but in one case, mortar fire hit simultaneously, blowing up the APC, killing one and injuring many others. Another was directly hit for a second time by a rocket-propelled grenade, and the entire crew was wounded and evacuated. The elements of Troops B and C were moved in to assist in the defense of the base. The 3rd Platoon of Troop C moved up Route 13 from their position 5 kilometers to the south, driving through a barrage of fire before reaching the base perimeter. At the same time, more tracks took up positions along the perimeter defense. The perimeter now contained the artillery battery, all of Troop A, and the 2 relief platoons, which provided a large quantity of armor. Several VC were killed while they attempted to remove the 50 caliber machine gun from one of the burning tracks, as were others trying to storm the foxholes containing the wounded. Due to the nature of the battle and the abundant use of automatic weapons on armored vehicles, heavy ammunition was being expended. At this point, artillery and air support were called in, and for the next 4 hours, gunship fire and airstrikes pounded the VC from above, killing hundreds. This allowed the Americans to conduct ammo resupply and medical evacuations. Of the 63 wounded, 26 were able to be flown out during this time. American aircraft began dropping cluster bomb units, napalm, and 500-pound bombs on the enemy units. This last wave of firepower ended the attack. During the battle, American soldiers killed at least 227 VC and captured 3, as well as much equipment and weapons. They assumed more VC had died because of the existence of blood trails, indicating that the dead had been taken away from the battlefield. Although more infantry than usual were killed by small arms fire, they were attacking cavalry and armored units. Most VC deaths in this battle still resulted from artillery and airstrikes. During the battle, 29 U.S. airstrikes delivered 29 tons of ordnance, and American artillery fired nearly 3,000 rounds. The Americans lost 3 killed and 63 wounded. VC prisoners confessed that they were from the 2nd and 3rd Battalions of the 273rd Regiment of the 9th Division. American intelligence analysts believe that the whole regiment participated. Following the battle, General John Hay penned a letter to the 9th Division commander, taunting him about their defeat. The letter was translated into Vietnamese, and leaflets were dropped into the VC area. The original English version read, "This is to advise you that during the battle on March 20th, the Viet Cong disgraced themselves by performing in an unsoldierly manner. During this battle with elements of this division and attached units, your officers failed to accomplish their mission and left the battlefield covered with dead and wounded. We have buried your dead and taken care of your wounded from this battle.